You get a little thing. Oh. No, I can look online. As long as it's updated online. I can look. I got a verbal rundown, but
I had to watch my grandkids.
Zero happenings.
I think I rather would watch my grandkids.
Yeah.
And hang around this town. They're just so dang cute. Today is the 18th. May. Kristen, you pretty familiar with the bills that were in this month's handout?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Like the in progress ones.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's the ones that we received last one. Hey, Ben, I think I misplaced my cheat sheet of what happens when in this meeting, so if I miss something, if I forget to say something, my parliamentary procedure is not up to par, please let me know if I missed something. Oh, just, we got 4 minutes. Was there any other bills that came in after the fact?
No.
Okay.
30,000 for?
Well, it was mistake. It's supposed to be 3,000.
I sent a second email, just updating.
Yeah, there was an update email that came in after.
Randy just typed it in wrong and then got it after I sent everything out. So
Yeah, when we do
it's-
the
It was
meeting,
3,000, not 30.
I'll make a motion to approve with the exception of that one. That was supposed to come out of general fund, wasn't it?
Now assessing thing?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Still learning what comes out of where.
Well, it's not a fire, an ambulance, or a sewer, so
Right.
most of the other stuff just comes out of general.
Yeah, it looks like the update. Mine's supposed to be 30,000.
There was a separate email I sent shortly after that just said, here's an updated packet of the checks in progress. With the highlighted.
It's got a highlight.
Oh, you know what? I think I've got the old one. I read it. I didn't know there was an attachment. Let me pull that up.
We should make that mistake on my paycheck.
Oh, there it is. Oh, it's updated in the council meeting packet. The finance meeting packet. I
Oh,
think, still
yeah, and
has
then
it.
I put a note, finance
Yep.
committee, this applies to your packet too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Something like that.
All right. But if there's a FOIA request, let's put it in the meeting minute notes that's annotated, so that they don't, there's no confusion. All right, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll for the May Glenwood City Finance Committee meeting?
And the groups. Jeff Graff.
Here.
Jeff Stoner.
Here. All members are present. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes from the April 21st, 2026 finance meeting.
So,
Second.
second. I'll sleep there for a second.
All right, meeting minutes are approved. Before we go to look at the bills, I did have a couple of questions. It's just this is a really long one, so it's just gonna take me a second to take a look. There's I had a question about one of the lagoon bills.
Oh,
Seemed a little big. Let me get to the page though. I'll tell you exactly which one it is. All right, so just for the purpose of the meeting, we're annotating that the $30,000 bill for assessment professional services is actually 3,000.
that's correct.
And does that mean that I've got the older one, so the total is going to be reduced by 27,000 for expenses under the general fund for this month? Is that correct?
That should be correct.
Okay. I did have one question about, there was a revenue here listed as donations from an individual for $2,000. Do we know, is there any story behind that, or is that designated for something specific? It was under item number 68346 on the 5th of May.
And the revenue, you said?
Yeah. General checking, sorry, HND general checking. Trying to get a page for you.
How much was it, did you say?
2,000 exactly?
On the Cutchin check. I do not know. The story, but I can certainly find out.
That wasn't for, that, fire,
That fire maybe, that's kind of what I was thinking
Yeah.
too, but
that training or
there
whatever.
was a fire call up at their property, it was like a grass.
Oh.
Control burn, but
Yeah, it started out to be a controlled burn, then a wind came up. Way.
I'm
They called
thinking that
in
might be
fire
what it was
department.
for.
Okay, all right. Okay. Appreciate it, thank you.
That's what they should be for. Would you want?
I'm looking. Yeah, it's under right here for $7,603.96. It's number 71608.
That is probably the repair of the motor or lagoon in the pump.
Okay.
We had to send it out, the guy had come from Chicago, they
Yeah.
rebuilt it.
That one that was
Right.
locked up.
Mhm.
And then there was a $16,721 bill out of the sewer fund, Clifton Larson Allen LLP.
That
That's
is-
our audit,
That's what?
part of the audit. Our auditors, Clifton Larson Allen is our audit company,
Oh, that's their annual cost?
that's part of their
Part
annual
of it,
cost.
yeah.
Right. Oh, and there was one in here for Tribune Press Reporter, notice/agenda for March, $2,033.52. Is that how much we gave them in the month of March?
I believe so.
For what?
We had several public hearing notices published. We had the agenda, probably the minutes from February meeting.
We had a couple of extra,
I think there was a
board, we had,
ordinance thing. was
yeah,
maybe in
we
there.
did, we also had the planning commission meeting, so there's a, we had them every month, basically, back, so that would probably be pretty true.
All right, so I'm just gonna let you know, I'm gonna suggest that maybe we should find out if there's a legal way to get around that.
We already
Just-
have,
Looking into
Joel,
Cause
has-
that's expensive.
it is.
it. Very
But,
expensive.
because we had checked, or Kristen had checked, and Joel had checked on a couple of different items, if we had to publish them, and we do.
Yeah, but can we publish electronically? I mean, isn't that legal as well?
I don't believe so, I think this was.
Really?
I could be wrong, Joel could probably speak more to it, but
I
what
think
he
Randy
looked into,
emailed the attorney.
yeah, what he had looked into said, no, we have to. Because the public needs to be aware, and that's through the newspaper is, the generally accepted way.
That just
Yeah.
seems so archaic.
Mhm.
Okay,
Not disagree.
I believe that was all, but just give me 1 second, okay? Oh. Yeah, that was it, just with the exception of, the $3,000 bill, for the assessors. Then I'd like to make a motion to approve the bills for this month. Second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, we've got a motion that is approved to pay the bills for next month, assuming that the council agrees. Hold on one second, let me take this back. All right, I make a motion for adjournment.
I make, so,
All those in favor say aye.
aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Finance meeting is adjourned for this month. Thank you. Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Mayor, question, can I ask you a question?
What is your question?
Was a discussion with the 3 council members that got argumentative with me last week addressed? Did you have any conversation with them about that?
What conversation are you talking about?
I guess, did you talk to them about interrupting the public when they're speaking and?
I don't know what are you referencing, when, why, what?
At the last meeting?
I didn't talk to anyone about anything.
Okay.
When, what specific topic were you talking?
The loud music at the M&M bar every week?
I don't really remember anyone being argumentative. They just didn't agree with your point of view is what I remember.
Okay. I guess that they just need to be reminded that the public speaking their opinions isn't to be degraded and talked down to and mocked.
I don't know if
Because
anyone's
that's-
mocking you, but also remember that public opinion is only allowed when I allow it.
No,
Yeah, it is.
no,
You-
that's not how that works.
Yes, it is. I can set the time for you to talk,
Right.
the time for you not to talk.
But when it's our time to talk, we're allowed to talk.
Yeah, but I'm the one who determines how long. If I decide to shut it down, we shut it down.
If,
So you're allowed to speak, obviously, absolutely.
but if it's
But it's not-
unpopular,
It's not your God-given right to have that time. I determine the time. You do know that, correct?
it says 5 minutes.
Up to 5 minutes.
Right.
So,
So if, I just want to make sure that I understand this then. If for whatever reason, the council members are being argumentative with the person presenting their feelings or view on something on the agenda, the person who asks to speak can be shut down because of.
I can shut the councilman down, or council people down, I can shut that down. Yeah, it's getting out of hand, obviously. It can be shut down. Yes. But just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean that they're argumentative or whatever other words you use. They just didn't agree with you.
Well, I understand the not agreeing.
Mhm.
It's the threatening to move the event closer to the person who doesn't like it,
I
which is what
don't,
Ross did.
I don't remember hearing that at all. Am I?
Oh, that's fine. You can look it up on YouTube.
No, I won't.
The video's there. And then we had our newest council person saying that me not liking loud music means that I hate fun or dislike fun or something along those lines.
Just if you've ever enjoyed life.
I also remember
You can also
saying,
look it up. Like I
Hey,
said, so.
I also remember you saying that she wasn't qualified to be a council person because of a comment she made against you on Facebook. So if we're gonna point fingers and act like, oh, woe is me, it goes both ways, Dave. You know that.
So that's fine. And that's why I'm trying to have this discussion, not in the middle of a meeting.
Mhm.
And then I had,
I think it's been
And we're
pretty
not,
well.
right, we're not able to have our opinion.
no, you're allowed to have your opinion,
Oh,
but saying that we're the one that's wrong is
I
the
never once
problem.
said you were wrong. I just asked if you enjoyed life ever.
That's not what you asked.
I said,
You
ever
asked if I
enjoyed life?
dislike fun.
Right, it's a question. Do you dislike fun? I'm not telling you you do. I'm asking if you do.
And I would think you've been here enough where you know that I'm pretty good about letting everybody speak. I don't think I've ever told anyone to sit down and end it.
You
Right.
don't need that though, when the council has gotten argumentative.
Well, when there's.
But that's not
there's-
my fault though. That's the
Well,
thing.
somebody, if you bring up something that is of no importance or of no, what's the word I'm looking for? If the council doesn't care about it, there's no sense in wasting our time going back and forth and arguing about things that I know are not gonna go your way, or I know that the council is not interested in entertaining. Right? Why would we waste our time?
It's always on topic or on an agenda item. Whenever
Yeah, but it
I'm
doesn't-
bringing something up. But just because it's an unpopular opinion doesn't mean that I shouldn't be allowed to talk about it or bring it up.
No, you can talk about it, but if it's an unpopular opinion, you can't get upset when people look at you or say to you, well, why are you doing this, right? Like, we're not here to please you. We're here to please the city, correct?
I
And just
mean, yes,
Yeah, and just because, I'm using an example, you want every tree to be painted red, let's say. And we look at each other and go, well, that's crazy, why would we do that? I'm not gonna entertain something like that if I know that we're just wasting time, right? Because you get agitated, they get agitated, I get agitated, we all get agitated, right?
but if that's an agenda item, on what color do we think the tree should be?
But I'm
Everybody
not
wants blue.
talking about the agenda. I'm
But I
talking
am,
about, I'm
it's
talking
always
about
on
the
the
public,
agenda.
you said the public comments on issues, what we're talking. That's an
Something-
agenda item, that is public comments, different area.
But it's on the agenda, the thing I'm talking about.
No, you just said you have up to 5 minutes, so we're talking about public comments, we're talking about the agenda item. That's a whole different conversation. You understand what I'm saying or not?
I do understand, but I think that you saying that we can have time so long as you think it's appropriate is the problem.
No, that's my job. It even says the mayor may reduce or extend that time at his discretion. That's my
Right.
job. That's why I'm here to run the meeting. So it doesn't get out of hand, doesn't go too long, whatever happens.
But just
But
because,
the public comments, this item 6 on the agenda is different from an agenda item. So let's say the agenda item, for example, on here. Discussion action on moving forward with migration to Microsoft 365.
right,
I wouldn't have to entertain any comments from the public if I didn't want to, because it really doesn't pertains to inter-office thing. It's basically for us. Now, if someone wants to say something, I usually allow it, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to talk about how Excel is better than 360, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that they just don't need to comment on, if that makes sense. That's an agenda item. And if you have something on the agenda for yourself, obviously, you're able to talk, like the people that have building houses or whatever it is, you're looking for permits, they're always allowed to talk. But we don't need, or I don't need comment from everyone on every agenda item, if that makes sense.
okay, I think a lot of the hangup right now is that you're offering the public a chance to speak, and then if you don't like what they're saying or don't think it matters, you can tell them that they can stop talking. And that's the absolute problem right now, is that goes against our First Amendment rights to speak in a public forum,
Do
which is
you
what this
have, do you
is.
have a chance to speak or not at these meetings?
Apparently with limitations though, and that's the problem.
Well, I can't let someone talk for 25 minutes.
That's why it says 5 minutes.
It
Now, if you want to
says
extend
up
it,
to,
that's fine.
can you read this?
Yeah.
The city council encourages comments from the public. Individuals may address the council for up to 5 minutes on any subject. The mayor may reduce or extend that time at his discretion.
But that's the problem, is that that's not a legally binding statement. Because you've tried to limit our abilities to record the meetings, and that got shot down. So I mean, if you want,
No, it didn't
We
get
can-
shot down. I allowed it to happen.
by giving up on it.
Because
on
I'm not
restricting
gonna,
it.
I'm not gonna fight about something that's so stupid. Like, why do I want to sit and argue about if you can record a meeting? It's just dumb.
But you did though. Two meetings in a row.
Yeah, because I think it's dumb. I don't understand it. We were putting it out on Facebook. You could have saw it. I didn't understand the need for it.
So why?
But
are
when you prove that you just wanted to do it, or you just let it happen, because there's no point arguing. You're not gonna waste city money trying to fight and say, oh, let's stop David Olson from recording the meeting. Not worth my time. You know, this is a volunteer gig for the most part. You get a little money. It's not worth my time fighting about things like recording meetings. I have better things to do. Everyone has better things. To do.
Not me.
Oh, you don't? Okay, sorry, Jeff. I shouldn't speak forever.
I'm retired, so.
But I don't know the last time I said to someone, all right, sit down, shut up, that's enough. I don't remember doing it. Do you?
Yeah,
When did I do that?
there was the, what was it, 1 or 2 times ago when I brought my wife with.
Don't tell us to look at YouTube again. We don't got time for that.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry, it can be used as an exhibit if you would like.
You brought your wife in what now?
One of the meetings a while back, and it was going back and forth between her and Ross was saying, you need to stop talking, I'm talking right
What was that during your comment on public issues, or was that during agenda? item?
now. It was during an agenda item.
Was an agenda item you brought to the table?
No.
Then
It
she's
was
well
one
within,
that
then
Miss-
she's well within her right to not. She's well within her right not to have to, but I don't, we don't have to listen to your comments on it. It's not an agenda item you brought to the table. We let people, talk, but at some point, yeah, we would shut that down. Because it's not like you're looking to build a house or you're looking to, I don't know, have the lights on, you know what I mean? Like, if you bring something to the agenda, no, that's what it is.
We were on a rail.
Until something like that is decided, that I'm usually pretty interactive with people, like, someone wants to build a house, we don't just go, yeah, you can build it, or no, you can't, right? There's discussion, they talk about whatever they're doing, kind of thing. So if it's something you brought,
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever stopped anyone from discussing. That makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
In the time that you've been in that position, I don't believe that that's happened.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I have a flat one. It's different than that. Oh, well, that's not what I have.
Man is smarter than you are.
My plug-in's over here, but all right, she's smart. Yeah, so I don't think that I have done that. I think I've been pretty good about letting people, even things I don't agree with, I think I'm pretty good about letting people talk. Maybe I'm not, I don't know, but I think I'm pretty good.
You are, but the rest of the council is, not. At least those three specific members are not. They feel like arguing.
I will pay more attention to that, but unfortunately, they're on the council, they have a right to, they have a right to speak as much as I, because at the end of the day, I don't vote, right? It's their opinion that matters. I'd like to think if I, had a great idea, I just want to give $1 million to the town, I think that they would probably go along with my idea, but it's they're the one that votes. So obviously, they have a vested interest in being able to speak and to, I guess, give their opinion. I don't know how else to describe it, but I think that, saying that we're limiting comments, I don't believe that to be true.
But that's what you said, though, is that you'll stop the comments if you feel like
I said I could. Yeah, I could.
would.
No, would, could, either way. I have that discretion to do it, but I haven't done that.
So I guess I'll.
So I don't know why you're worried about something that's never happened before. We can sit and you and me and she said, but if I've never done it, and you just said that you don't believe I have, I don't even know why it's a conversation.
I guess to prevent it from being an issue later.
Okay, sure, I just don't know.
You win.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't think it's been a problem.
We'll talk about it next month. That means.
I don't appear to be a problem, but. Do you have a second?
I
Pam?
sure do.
You have a big rubber at Jones. Lily, we meet at her party Saturday. I can have a home sales.
I thought the party didn't start until 4. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be out here a half hour early. But we just started at 3. She just forgot to change it. On the Facebook page. But she got the cards now too. But I don't want to show up. But 3:30. Yeah.
Did you see me? Pretty good society.
So you could, we don't want one.
No, yeah.
I texted you.
I love it.
There's gotta be people on there.
The booze started kicking in.
Oh,
It starts getting louder and louder.
We have like 5 graduation parties.
Oh, shit, I might miss.
Come 8:30. I'm not sure.
And Shirley's gone, wife is gone, she's on Houston, so. I'm just gonna go home. We get together.
in my side by side to the maintenance guy. And like 2 yards of mulch.
Where'd you get the mulch at?
Um,
you just buy it?
Sylvester Custom Grinding. It's 30 minutes away, but it, tell you what,
It's
2
all
yards,
good.
yeah, 2 yards, I had it all in the back of my one ton. And, it was $80.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't have enough to do all 3 beds, so I went down here and bought 5 bags from hardware store. It was 30
Yeah.
for 5 whole bags.
You were gonna.
No.
We got that a couple years ago, we got a pretty good pile.
Usually there's 3 or 4 guys from
I
my
didn't
home.
spend a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we gotta,
You must have a lot of beds.
well, I have a lot at home, but then I also have a camper. We have quite a few beds at our camper. So we split it between the 2.
Yes. Spend the weekends up there, up north. What lake? Where? Yeah. I think a little north of here. North of. Yeah. Up by-
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think so. I'm not sure.
That would be like, that would be a separate.
What's up? You know, Jen? Okay, I'll
Don't
take that.
say,
as
I
a
wouldn't
no.
say things. You know, you did jinx.
Oh, no.
If Mike doesn't show up, I'm gonna be pulling that one item, the erosion issue.
Hi,
Yeah,
friends.
'cause, they-
How's it going?
I told Mike he had to be there to talk about.
Suck it in.
Gee, I can only suck so much. I'm not 17 anymore.
Hey, everyone. How are you? Good.
No, I've got it.
Okay, perfect. Oh, I think you hurt my spleen. I gotta go home.
Talking Mike about his spleen.
Is he coming today?
No, I don't think it's too late for him to.
Okay.
Well, he should take a nap.
There was something that when I looked the other day,
You really. Actually, you will.
I mean, people are here, you can have. It's all,
I just gave everyone.
There. I just haven't heard.
And Rob is not coming with tonight. Okay. Okay. You were 2 seconds.
I cannot. I just did not keep going in and out of this. tape.
Well, I'm not in the way now, so I'll stay out here.
Put Jerry right on the corner.
They're gonna get you one of these fancy
From left
shirts.
to right is all.
Yeah, I still have.
What do you want?
I could get it from first. I wear it once. For the parade, that was it.
She was a team player. I'm not gonna do that this year.
Kind of.
Clashes with my eyes.
Talking about the June meeting. Spring's on, summer's here. Snow will be flying soon.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh.
Don't say that.
It's supposed to get only 40 degrees, what? Tuesday night, Wednesday night?
Is it?
No.
As long as it doesn't do a hard freeze. All my parties plants and have a hard attack. I gave up gardening, now it's all put it in the box.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
we're
too,
putting in. we're gonna-
I got too many destructive critters.
We're planting sunflowers.
Oh, they do love pumpkins.
Yeah, good luck. Don't have bad luck. You haven't heard of them in 15 years, never had problems until this last year. Year just ate it all up. And then you go to the farmer's market.
Yes, sir. You see an arrow sticking that way?
Yeah. Yeah. It's not long enough.
Really?
Big one?
This was this afternoon.
Ooh, he was up close and personal.
Yeah, you wanna see what he did? He did that, that's the camera. That's after he was done with it. Yeah. I got the last. September 9th rolls around. Yeah.
That's sketchy.
Been up around the house, what he took down the bird feeders last night.
Oh, Beryl had a
I
good.
mean, steel bars.
Plastic barrel. Had a black.
How many people walk up there and make it that's 2 points? Yeah, because I think that's my problem. I mean, I got lots of problems. I get-
Yeah, my brother, so. At the land Saturday night, he got pictures on the other side of the pond.
Yeah, seems like it's in there.
Oh, no. No.
Picture. Here's the pond here.
Never thought you would teach me how to write.
I'm not saying it's right.
It is, that's what I was looking for.
Because they're not big enough to have an IT department.
Or I'm just not even good at doing it. Well,
Old machine there. You don't even remember. Projector, yeah, the screen.
Yeah, oh, it's upside down. Yeah. Yeah.
When we had a teacher. Quickly right on there. So it's going like. It's all right.
there you go. It was-
Get what you pay for.
All right.
Okay.
All right, I would like to call the May regular Glenwood City Council meeting to order. 7:01 PM, Monday, May 18th. Madam Clerk, if you would call the roll.
Ken Fletcher,
Yes.
Gary Ross. Here. Ben DeGrove.
Aye.
Doug Kraft,
Here.
Amanda Shoney. Yep. Jeff Stoner,
Yes.
Michael Berg.
All right, agenda number 2, Pledge of Allegiance, please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do you need a chair?
We're getting up.
Oh, okay, thank you. Agenda number 3, approval of the agenda. May I have a motion? So moved. Go second.
Yes.
You got that, Kristen?
Yep.
Okay, all those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Agenda is approved. Approval of the April 21st, 2026 Common Council minutes.
I would like to make a motion to approve the bills with the
No,
exception.
we're at the minutes. Not
Nope.
the bills yet.
Sorry. Gotta add it.
But I still need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Terry. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, agenda number 5. Your turn.
All right, I'd like to make a motion, we approve the bills for this month, with the exception of the bill for the assessor is actually $3,000.
30. Do I have a second?
Second.
Take your pick.
We'll go with Stoner.
All right. And then Madam Clerk, if you'll call.
Ross,
Yes.
DeGrove. Kraft,
Yes.
Shoney. Yes. Stoner.
Yes.
Berg.
All right, the bills will be paid. Agenda number 6, public comments on issues. I will start at the front. Anyway,
Oh.
public comments. Public comments. Public comments.
I have
Yes.
a question. I don't know if this is the time or if it'll be under the police department, about the cameras at the park and such. Is that?
There will be
the
no
docket?
police tonight because Joel is not here, so if you have something about that, now would be your time to speak.
I was just wondering where we were at with that. I think at the last meeting, we were waiting to find out if the images could be released to the requester.
They can be, and so as of this moment, there will be no cameras. That's it.
Okay. I would like to request who the requester is and why.
You'll have to see Kristen about that. We
Okay.
can't do anything about that. You're-
Yep, no,
Yeah,
that's.
so stop in and talk to her and we'll see what we can do for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, anything else? Okay. Comments? David, nothing for you?
No, we already spoke.
Okay. Comments? All right. Committee reports, summer rec. All right. The library, Rochelle.
Okay, not much right now. We are starting summer reading June 1st. We got some different programs. Most of the programming is gonna happen in July and August this year. We do have a children's author coming in July. And we have a dragon trainer coming in August. And also in July for the 250th celebration of the United States, we are hiding American flags around town. And people will have to take photos of them with the flag to get their names into a drawing. We also have the children's and adults reading challenge also going on. We are planning a quilt show right now for October. We also signed a contract with the national bestseller coming in September. He actually lives in Minnesota.
Tom Clancy. Oh.
We have to do a thing on
Oh, I just, his
that.
name's really big.
Other than that, we just finished writing a grant, for, it's actually a federal program, to actually get money back for our postage for the Delhi Department library program. So they would pay half of what we spent last year back. We did get it the year before and it saved us, we got back almost $1,000. We also added, Wilson's zip code to our debit card library program. And we did get a grant from St. Croix Electric to go towards that program for $2,000. So that will cover us for a year. So, other than that, I had a lot of programs in the last couple months. I also did get to the Public Library Association conference in Elkhart. And then I'll be going for the Wisconsin conference in, I think it's in October. That one's bigger than this one, so hoping they have some good stuff there. I think that's about it.
All right, any questions for you? All right, thank you very much. Dave is not here from Public Works. I will just throw out these couple of items. First Street, the road has been repaired. It's been patched from the county as of today, so that water main leak that we had is now covered up. If you notice coming down the street, there is a light pole that is down. That is going to be replaced with a signal, because if you saw the bigger sign, 26, they're gonna start road closure in town. They're gonna do the curb and gutter on 128 before they start the rest of the project. So that is why that pole is down. And I don't know what kind of signal, if it's a literally one-way traffic, I have no idea. We'll see.
Well, this bridge is gonna be one lane.
Yeah, that's right. What it's for, yeah.
Yeah. For a while.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just the bridge that they're showing or if they're going down. There'll be some kind of signal. So.
Question, Mr. Mayor, do we know what the financial impact, if any, there was with the water main break?
We do not have a final bill yet. Yes, we give estimate 30,000, but.
Are we on the hook for 100% of that?
Mhm. Yeah, but that was because the, where the break was, they actually had to dig back farther than they thought to find the turnoff spot, because they couldn't turn it out where they were at. It was rusty, bad, old infrastructure, whatever, so they had to dig. And that could be overestimating, but if this one is 60 grand,
Yeah.
you know, right around there probably, but hopefully it'll be less, but that's what it is. All right, anything else on those items? Okay. Police department is not here. Joel is out of town. Terry, did you have anything you wanted to?
I do
talk
have
about?
some things to talk about. You guys can, anybody can ask questions whenever you want. I just assume you wait till the end. But I have been getting a lot of comments and a lot of calls, and I'm rather over it. Nitpicking, open record things. You know, when we all came on, we're in debt. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you, that's our problem right now. But there's been an open request requested about the cameras at the park, Ange. So those are just trail cams, just to try to protect our equipment, to protect vandalism, to protect whatever needs to be protected, okay? Now with this open request, the police department has had to, well, they've spent roughly 20 hours in the last 30 days trying to erase all the miners' faces on there. It is public record. Anybody can ask for anything they want at any point in time. But sometimes we need to use our heads and think about it, because I'm just gonna give you a simple fact. At $49 an hour with the police department, maybe this last month, because of this request, was a little higher per se than normal. But just the police department alone has spent $980 in the last 30 days on this request. That does not include every time I get bothered about this, every time he gets bothered, or every time they call the lawyer. So every time an open request is asked for, or someone is nitpicking something using our resources, it is costing all of you money. Because by the time we're done with this, and please spread the word, we're spent almost $12,000 in open request records for what? We can't give our employees raises. They do a great job. We have to fight tooth and nail for every penny that we get. So the police, I'm getting phone calls that we never have a cop on duty. We never have a cop duty. He's always in the office because of requests that I don't know why. Anybody can ask for anything, but we're just wasting your taxpayer dollars. And we're never gonna get out of the hole. Before I die, we'll be lucky if we get out of it, or I'm off in April, whatever. But, there's just so much. The police department does a lot of calls, like your roll-off. Do you guys know that the what is it called? Why do we have it?
The ordinance,
The ordinance says 4 feet. Do you know why it's 4 feet? Because nobody cares. Because when they snow plow or when they street sweep, if you're parked 4 feet close, you're responsible for it. It's not because it's a big deal. It's not a big, some of these ordinances have been done before we were even on, and we don't even know the ordinances. So, just kind of think about what I'm saying. I'm kind of over it. If you want to know the truth, too many phone calls about dumb things. I feel like I get rude. I feel like I get short. I feel like it's a waste of time. I would much, if that cop is sitting in that office and there is a call, 5 minutes is life or death because he's now crossing out a small child's face. We're a small community. I would like to see everybody try to get along because now things are starting to seem like there's nitpicking. I'm sorry, Eminem. I don't know what was going on with you. I love your music, whatever. But too much of the police department is wasted on stupid requests. The cops are being, quote unquote, to their faces, being called pieces of shit. They are getting the finger from people. I guess in my lifetime, I never thought I would see this in this town. We have called 5 police departments to see how to handle a problem like this. And they have no idea because they've never heard of anything so silly. They have no idea. So I guess from now on, the old saying, see something, say something. If anybody wants, this is my name, this is how you spell it. I've been in the limelight, doesn't matter. Anybody wants my phone number, I will be glad to give you my phone number. But we have to do something to help this police department and something to keep our people sane who are here for one job and it's for the people. Anybody have any questions for me? Feel free. I'm very much not mad, but someone has to say it. I don't know how many phone calls he gets. I don't know about you so much. You get called out quite a bit. You're pretty good, but I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what this accountability, someone's trying to make us feel accountable. Does anybody know anything? I mean, is there anything we can do about this?
That's what I was gonna ask. Is there anything for excessive, ridiculous, that requests that happen over and over and over?
Go ahead,
again?
Julie. Yeah, I'm looking for anything. I mean, we're at our ends wits. Like I said, I think it's been 5 or 6 police departments we've talked to. It's thousands and thousands of resources wasted. Sorry, it is wasted for some of these open record requests. It is a waste of my time. I'll tell you, if I was at the park and I was being videotaped with my grandchild, what, y'all know me, what do you think would happen?
Nothing good.
And that's, unfortunately, you guys, that's what's gonna end up happening. something like that is going to happen, because someone is gonna run into the wrong daddy or the wrong mommy, and then what are we gonna do?
I can attest to that. I know of 3 different instances. My child alone, I got a phone call that he was being recorded. I'll be honest, I filed a complaint with the police department because my son was down there playing basketball and was being recorded. And I will not tolerate that bullshit.
I don't know why, I can't find out why this is happening.
We drive by the park and you're just being recorded sometimes, and I don't understand why that is. If it's just because you can, because you're in public, well, that's makes people uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable to be out in public. I don't trust, my son's gonna be 15 in October. He should easily be able to ride his bike around the block. I won't let him. I have like 360 on him, 24/7. If he's gonna go ride his bike, I'm going for a walk too. It's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, and this is all public record of all of these open record requests. It is all open record. Anybody can find out who it is anytime they want. If anybody cares, I don't know.
All right.
Well, I just have a quick comment. First of all, someone that's down at the park taking pictures or videoing or whatever of Myers, I'm sorry, that's creepy. Period, end of story. It's creepy. And second of all, at what point in time or how many complaints of nitpicky stuff has to occur before it's considered harassment?
Public figures, we are pretty much immune from harassment.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to go to a different level.
But the others,
Everything that has been turned in has been, a legal request. I mean, the public is open to receive basically whatever they want for the most part. So,
And without a reason why.
we do what the lawyer tells us, legally we have to do, and we just keep doing it, but,
pretty sad.
yeah.
Like I said, just if you go by these numbers, we're at almost 12,000 for 1 year, not including lawyers. Not including paper, not including. So if you want to know who it is, or if you need to know anything, it is public record. I just don't want it to get to be bullying on the other side. I don't want anyone else to be bullied. I feel, to be honest with you, that this police department is targeted.
They feel that way.
Or for say you, it's too much. But that's all I have to say is think about the money. Think about my police department. I don't necessarily tell you I agree with Joel and Jerome all the time, because y'all know me. But you know what, the last thing I need is them going out on a call, being upset about something so minor, or being in the office in 5 minutes, they get a call on an accident and they have to all suit up and get their bearings together. By then the kid's dead, or the person is dead on the ATV because it took 5 minutes too long. They're supposed to be out patrolling.
All right.
So that's all.
Can I just say, I'm sitting here thinking about how many pictures I've taken in the park over the last 50 years. And
But you also are.
I don't want to be lumped in with somebody else.
Oh, no, but you're a tribute, you're a paper. You have rights. I mean, everybody has rights, but like I said, it's
You're
gonna.
there for a purpose, Carlton.
Yeah.
Everybody else has
Capture.
shit, but I
You have a purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
You're on
Was
it.
there a complaint about the dumpster?
Absolutely, there was.
What's wrong with it?
It's too close to the curb for the 4-foot. As well as your bandstand. Is it stationary to the ground? Because it's another ordinance says it's supposed to be stationary, which not anybody can move anyway.
And this is coming from a public complaint.
Oh, yes.
Complaints called into either the county or to
Yep, you'll find out.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I would assume if the police are involved, there'd be some
You
kind of
can ask
report
me.
who did whatever, so.
But
Let's
even-
just stop in contact.
The only thing you can do too is, you guys have the right to put no trespassing. I mean, we have that right to do that. I don't know why you'd want to get to that, but something's gonna have to give pretty soon.
And obviously, the police have not talked to you about who you dumpster, I assume. Yeah. All right, with that said, let's move on. Thank you, Alderperson Ross.
Politically correct, I went there.
Oh, I'm so impressed.
Fire Department, Chief Holt.
All right, I got a couple things. couple months ago, I came, Dunn County is switching over to 800 megahertz and they wrote a grant. So I tailed onto their grant and I just got an email last week, they received it. So unfortunately, I didn't think they'd get it, so I didn't ask for a whole lot. I wish I'd asked for more, but that's like, I got 2 portables and a mobile radio that will be 800 megahertz usable. So the total cost was $11,185.95, and we paid 20% of that. So we paid $2,000 for 2 portables and a mobile.
Does that fit the new
Yes.
standard of whatever we're going to?
When I talked to Terry about Tinker County is doing the same thing, except theirs is kind of out there. He's not sure what anything's gonna cost. He's hoping that he get a good percent off from some company. He told me not to do it because if I buy Kenwood's and he goes with Motorola, then we won't match. And I'm like, a radio is a radio, no matter where you go. 30 years, I've never done software updates on any of my radios, so bad me, I didn't ask for more, but I did. So that'll be coming down the road. I think what they're doing is purchasing all the equipment, and I think we have up to a year to pay for it. But I've got the funds, I'm not worried about it, or to get the 2 portables and mobile. So that was good news on that end. Our new engine, we worked with that Tuesday night, and we just have to install a few more hand tools and some equipment. We should have that up and running. We finally got all these blue lights and red lights fixed, so we should be legal now. The old engine was delivered, I think, weeks ago. They brought a semi up, loaded it up, took it down. And that department is overly excited about it, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be traveling to southern Minnesota because they don't have a clue how to run it. So, yeah. So I've been getting texts, they're happy about it. I'm trying to talk them through how to operate it. So someday I'm gonna have to, I might just decide to go down there and help them out, but
Did someone have to show us how to operate our new fire engine, or did you figure that out on your own?
figured it out. But I
That's-
mean, they're going from in this sound, I mean, theirs was what, a 1980 or something, and ours was a 95, so there's just different things and different ways to do stuff. So, again, I think we did a great choice there to help somebody else. So that's all I got.
Questions for Greg?
On the UTV ride went all right, or side by side?
Yep, went just fine. I know there was, questions, I invited, Jerome up there, just to be up there. I don't see any problem with that. We had a little issue going on that I asked him to stay a little bit longer, so that's why he spent couple more hours there than maybe he should have, but all in all, I think people like to see that, so. Overall, went good.
All right, thank you, sir. Director Lee, the ambulance.
Yeah, so, well, I guess the main thing is it's EMS week this week. We started out by, with a supper last night for our crew. And, this morning, we were in the elementary school and we served the elementary kids, pre-K through grade 5. Yeah, to grade 5. We served them lunch, talked to them, gave them stickers, you know, the whole bit. Yeah, they got a kick out of that. And then our coloring contest will be going back out Thursday to give the kids trophies for that. Of course, we had, you know, deputy license processional that, you know, part in, we had both trucks in that. Last month, I talked about the Leave Behind program for Narcan, fentanyl, and xylazine test strips. And I had applied for that, and we were approved to receive that. That should be coming any day. So if we're at a call of an overdose, or we you know, we can even just go to the homes of those that we have frequented, I guess, for lack of a better term, and we can give them Narcan and the test strips to have for their own use also. So we were approved for that. And then Waitsville coverage, they have an interim now that they've had for a while. They still have shifts where they're not staffed. So periodically, we are still having to, us and Menominee are still having to cover for them depending which area of Boyceville it is. If it's in Boyceville or if it's north, that's us, we get paged. But,
Julie, isn't Boyceville, I thought Boyceville was up and running like last week.
they're up and running as a service, but they're down at times because they don't have crews to cover all of the.
So it's not, they're not down because of the director, they're down because they don't
Yes,
have
they have an
help.
intern director. Yes, it's because they don't have crew members to cover all the shifts. Mhm.
So they would have someone out and another call would come in.
Oh, no, I
Yes.
get it, I knew they were covering for them when they didn't have a director, because you have to have a director.
Yeah,
But then I knew
yeah.
they had gotten
And
one, so.
we kind of thought maybe that, but I think part of I actually just talked with one of the board members. She called me Friday. And I think part of their problem is the intern that they brought in is from Altoona. And so he doesn't live around here, so he's not around to help cover, maybe extra shifts, more shifts, but, I don't know. It's just kind of my take on that. But, so we are still periodically having to cover, 2 weekends ago, we have 2 12-hour shifts that we were told they didn't have coverage for. But at the end of the day, if we don't have enough crew to cover our own and send a truck there, we won't go there because our first priority is our service area. When we were covering for them, when they were down and shut down, we had to take a pass because we had one truck down there already in Boyceville and they had another call and I had to take a pass because I said, no, I need the other truck, I'll stay here. So, we just do what we can do. On the bright side of that, since they were shut down a few years ago, we've had a contract with them. So every time we go in and take a call for them, they pay us $500 to come in and take that call for them. And that's besides the billable call for a patient or to insurance. So, we've gotten $3,000 from that already. Just excess on top of regular revenue. So that is all I have.
Questions for Julie? All right, thanks, Julie, appreciate it. Madam Clerk.
There's 2 things. The recycling grant that I filed end of last month was approved and we qualified again for $9,000 that we'll be getting from the state of Wisconsin DNR for that. And I also was a scholarship winner for the Clerks and Treasurers Institute that I'm attending in July. So that is covered 100% and it was $499.
Oh, good.
Why didn't you speak up
Reimbursed
sooner?
after.
Thank you.
Why didn't you speak up sooner? What are they supposed to do? You just tell us we're wrong. You're great.
I would never do that. Anything else?
That is it for me.
Good job,
Questions
Kristen.
for Kristen?
Good job. Thanks for working.
Yeah, thank you. very much.
Recycling is gonna be closed this weekend, right?
I believe so. for the
Yes,
holiday,
the holiday will be shut down, so get your garbage in tomorrow and Wednesday or wherever holds your trash. Well, at least for me.
Oh, that was good.
The only thing I have is something Julie referenced, the memorial little drive for Katie Lacing. I know some of you guys out here have popped out and saw it. I thought there was 61 vehicles, but Sally Standard said 63. It was pretty overwhelming that even a few years past that there was so much support. I mean, there were units and things from towns all around. It was as sad as it was, obviously the event, it was very nice to see that people remember that our fallen officers. And it was just, yeah, it was pretty impressive, just being in the middle. If you look up the hill and there was just lights as far as you can see. And it was very cool. And thanks to the former mayor, Rob Unruh, he led a chip style. He was Poncherello on the motorcycle leaving. So that was kind of cool to have him here. But yeah, just every time, you drive on that road and you see those road signs and you see that memorial out there, it's a sad memory of Glenwood City, but also nice that her memory's kept alive, I think, like that. So I appreciate people that were out looking. I appreciate everyone from around the county that was out to support that. So that's all I have. Any questions for me? Because obviously we addressed the road stuff, but 128 is going to be under construction till end of August, I believe is what they said. They're starting in town first. I don't know. Once we get curb and gutter done, I don't know if they're starting the road from the other end and coming in, or if they're starting here and going out. That much we don't know. But I believe, like I said, the 26th is the start date. So between I-94 and 64 and now our road, you might want to get side by sides and make like a path through someone's field so we can get out of town. All right. You guys here for him? All right. Your floor.
All right. I'm here tonight to give an update on the Community Foundation's progress for the Hinman Park project. As you know, this was our first project, is to focus on the outdated and broken playground equipment at Hinman Park. Our original budget for the project was $250,000, but we're close to wrapping it up for much less than that. I will note the handouts that Kristen handed out. You'll notice, Jeff, can I just take a peek at yours? No. Actually, I have one right here. There's a blank right here. That is the existing swing deck or swing bank, and that will stay. So there's not really a blank spot in there. So as you're looking through that. But we have raised so far $78,374 from the community in a very short period of time, which I believe is a true testament to the importance of this project to our town. Anna pointed out to me this morning that today actually marks 1 year from the day that we launched our Facebook page. So I think, when you think about what we've accomplished in that time, I'm pretty proud of our volunteers. 2 of our committee members are here, so. In addition to community support, we raised $2,500 from the Family Trust in River Falls, a grant from St. Croix Electric for an ADA swing, a grant from Semstone for 6 cubic yards of ready mix for the footings, including delivery fees and their delivery costs and fees, and over $1,000 in Thrivent grant or Thrivent Choice directions, dollar directions. We have donations in kind for Bobcat and excavation work, labor on the cement work for the sidewalk, and all of the wood fiber products we need, which is huge. If we had to pay for the wood fiber projects, that would be about $100,000.
That's going from the loggings, correct?
Yes. And if we put the mat, what was that? That was like 300. I mean, it was ridiculous how much that was. So we've really done a good job, I think, of trying to find dollars where we can. We've applied for several larger grants from Kubota, the Community Foundation of Dunn County, and most recently we're waiting to hear back on a grant application from T-Mobile. So far, we've been unsuccessful in those larger grants. From feedback that we've gotten, even though we feel that you guys have been very supportive in the work of the foundation, and you've helped with, or you're going to be helping with the site prep and removing and the recycling of the old equipment. There hasn't been financial buy-in, and they're looking for that on those larger grants. I have to say, I've heard how many people tonight talk about grants. We've not even had a park member, there's gotta be a park committee, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've not had a member say, can I come to a meeting, or what's going on with your project? There's gotta be grants that your park committee can be applying for this, I would think. So food for thought. But so we're still waiting to hear from that. We should hear from that T-Mobile grant by the end of the month. If we do get this, $22,000 will go toward installation, $10,000 for sidewalks, $5,000 for public art that the Glenwood City High School Art Department will lead. We'll be painting murals and garbage cans. $1,000 for the Glenwood City High School Makers Lab for custom signs and raised garden beds, and $1,000 for plants and trees. Of the funds that we've raised so far, we've spent $58,792 to purchase a 35-foot zip track and an obstacle course structure, a toddler play area for ages 2 to 5, and a swing bank with an ADA compliant swing and a parent-child swing. To complete the project, we'd like to purchase 3 more pieces of equipment, which would include a large play structure for ages 5 through 12, which would replace the one that's still there, a mini whirl, kind of a merry-go-round type structure, and an arch swing, like a tire swing type structure. These last smaller pieces, the two smaller pieces are ADA compliant, like the other swing is. The total cost for those three pieces is $41,873, and that's including the freight to deliver them. We've asked the school district tonight, and they could be deliberating as we speak, so fingers crossed, to help us purchase those three pieces of equipment from their Fund 80. That's a fund that's used for purposes separate from normal school operations. It's for programs that serve the entire community, not just K through 12 students. By including the three ADA components and the sidewalks around and hopefully also through the playground, we feel that the updated park will be much more inclusive to kids of all abilities and make it easier for our elderly adults to enjoy as well. Thus, I think it will make a good use of those Fund 80 dollars. So again, fingers crossed. I'd ask you to consider the importance of our entire community and those who visit as far as our park. I cannot tell you how often I've heard out-of-town clients come in and tell me that their kids play at that park while their younger or their older siblings have a ball tournament at Inland. That park represents us, and right now, I'm afraid not very well. When NextGen came into the city and looked at bringing in not microfiber, fiber optics, they asked for a $10,000 grant for upfront materials or upfront costs to get that build out started. Mayor Larson suggested that the city invest $10,000 as a gesture of support for the future of our town. Aren't our children at least as important as fiber optics? They're our future. I would agree, or I would argue they're way more important than our infrastructure. This is our city, and it's your city. I'm asking that you come up with $10,000 to help us complete the Hinman Park project. I know that funds are tight, but there's got to be a place that you can come up with money for our kids. Our hope is to be able to purchase the remaining equipment in early June and allow time for delivery and installation with the hope of having it ready for rustic floor. I appreciate your time and consideration.
So first of all, Amanda is the new chair of the committee you would like to talk to, so if you have anything for her. Second of all, I take a little offense to you saying that we don't care about the children. I've never been asked for $10,000. I've been asked for $100,000. I've been asked for $50,000. No one's ever came and said, could you start with something like that? So I take that a little personally.
I take the offense that she compares John Larson, who is also the one that was very much the one that got us in debt with the school removal. So, yeah, I'm very offended right now. I can't hardly breathe. I personally, I can't speak for everyone else. Personally, I've tried to do what I can to help this program along. I've talked to Anna a million times, trying to get Dave involved. We're trying to do that. But yeah, money's tight. It is. But like I said, no one has asked for that amount of money. It's been huge dollars. And I don't know, I wouldn't say comical, but the fact that someone asked for $100,000 was, I mean, you might as well ask for $1 million, right? We don't have that kind of money sitting around. So just when someone that bothers me, because I don't want anyone under the impression that we're not willing to spend on our community. I think that it's been proven we will. Obviously, infrastructure, things that keep the town running are my main focus. Obviously, I know the park is crappy. I know that the slide sucks. I know the kids are down there. I get it. We're trying to put cameras down there to protect the investment before we even put this stuff up, because we have vandalism and the things that kids have wrote and wrecked, and I could go on and on. So there were things we were trying to do to protect this. But if well, how much did you raise?
78,000.
And what was your goal?
We were hoping for 250. Which we didn't, was kind of when we started, we didn't know exactly what the cost.
Well, and my thing is too, so you want to raise all this money and, but I get it, and I know the park's bad, and I get it, but here's my thing. When you guys decided to do this, who's assembling the equipment?
We're not sure yet. We'll either do a community build where we have to have 25 volunteers. And that will cost us about $6,000, I think, $5,000 or $6,000.
If they're volunteers?
Yeah. they'll come, so the organization will come and set the posts and do all the things that need inspecting, and they'll do all the things to make sure that it's safe, right? Because we don't wanna be just having volunteers doing it and not knowing what they're doing. So they'll come and supervise the project, and oversee it, as long as we have volunteers that can help.
Depending on what is needed to install, Dave and Corey
Well, I
are
know
on
they
board,
will.
but it's just a matter of if, I don't know if they can or not, or, you know, Dave's biggest issue, and I'm hopefully not speaking out of turn for him, is that this obviously isn't gonna happen in a week or a day, you know, it's gonna take some time to get stuff in, but they are more than willing to do what they can
Oh,
to
for
help with
sure.
this, but I don't, like you say, I don't know if there has to be someone there, I don't know.
For sure, but again, they are going to be helping because it is their park. They're gonna need to know what's going on. There is a donation per se from the city because we're paying their wages. You know, we're mowing lawn, it's not that, yeah, okay.
And like I say, I know that you've been supportive of the foundation's work and you've offered some of the in-kind things, but I think that's what's hurting us from the feedback that we're getting from these grants that we're writing. The feedback is that we don't have financial buy-in. And so, and we've heard that from individuals too.
Do you tell them? Do you tell them what has
We do,
happened
absolutely.
before us?
Absolutely.
And they say, oh, that's just their problem. I mean, I'm just saying, we are screwed because of decisions made not by us. And now we're sitting here trying to dig it out. And we're the public enemy number one, and we're not supporting this, and we're not doing this. And we can't put cameras up because it's open records. I mean, our hands are tied right
I
now.
don't think cameras are the answer though, personally. I think
Oh.
if you've got equipment that's there that they're proud of, I don't think you're gonna have a problem with vandalism.
But there's kids that are vandalizing them. That's the problem. It's
And
kids
I
that
bet you
aren't
every
being
park
monitored
has
that are
cameras.
vandalized. And we're trying to prevent that from happening.
Do you think the cameras will prevent that?
Well, we're gonna have evidence if they're there.
Would be able to have some kind of evidence that it's happening.
I guess I'm not sure. But I do think if we have a playground that they're excited about, that, you know, I think you're going to see less chance of having them vandalized.
And that may be true, but I think the kids that are vandalizing the park are not the kids that are using the play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that, you know, your young grandkids that love it, I don't think it's them. I think it's the teenage ding dongs that are running around doing stuff.
I mean, we shouldn't have to feel like we need to parole it all the time either, for that same reason. But we have to, unfortunately, because of the stupidity that's happening by these older children, potentially. So.
All right, anything else for Joe? All right, thank you very much. New business, site plan review for Steve Wilcox Shed at 101 Windmill Way. For those of you that don't know, Josh Miller is no longer our contact at Cedar. So for now, Lynn is going to be our point person, so I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so did Steve come tonight?
Yeah, right there.
Good day.
Hi. So Steve made an application for a site plan review for a shed that he wants to build. The reason that a site plan review has to occur is because it's zoned agricultural. So for a typical residential lot, this wouldn't need to be done, but because it's zoned agricultural, it needs to be. So did you get a copy of the
updated one?
Yep. Okay, so that's the application that Steve had made. So Rob, who's
Got colors on it.
Yeah, I gotta get to the right day. Yep, got it.
That's the one she saw.
Yep.
All right, there we go.
So Rob Jones, who's one of our planners, has been working for Cedar for 20 years, went through and did a review of this. And basically what it is determining what the front yard is for his lot, because his lot is a 5-acre lot that is not your typical straight lot. So determining where the building that he wants to go should be placed. So if you want to go back to the, you can wanna go to the map.
Is that on this one or is that
Yep.
on, yeah?
Should be on page. So there's a map of his lot. And what Rob did is he went to determine the front line lot, he went 127 feet at all angles to determine that, the front yard. Because you can't just go straight across with it. So he did this and determined that this curvature would be considered what is the front yard. Now, if you guys don't agree, you could look at changing that as well. So that's what he's determining. So anything behind here is where Steve would be able to build his shed.
Was that an issue, anything with you, what was determined there?
That's perfect.
Okay,
So then if you want to go to the next map, Rob is showing where Steve is wanting to put his shed up here. So that is actually 136 feet, so further than the 127 feet. And that's just, while it seems forward, it's the 127 feet back, determining a backyard. So he would put it here and it's 25 feet from the lot line where it needs to be. And that's where we'd like to put the shed. Now looking at the water and everything like that, it isn't a concern. Unless it's a concern for you guys. The zoning right now, because there is no impervious surface, there wouldn't need to be any stormwater. If there would possibly be another structure down the road, then that might be something you guys may need to look at. But in his opinion, the Cedar's opinion, and our recommendation to the council would be is that this would meet what it needs to.
approve as is.
Yep.
Okay. Anything to add before we,
Just apologize for such a minor request, but obviously fire, police, parks, you got way bigger fish to fry. So I appreciate Kristen pushing through, and Lynn and Rob jumping in and keeping it moving. I apologize, this is really simple, but there you have it.
So on the aerial view, is this the aerial view? This is it's 110 Windmill Way
It's 101.
from St. Croix, Wisconsin, from the county.
yeah, 101 and there they say 110, yeah, so that is two different.
Is that?
It's the
is
same.
that the land?
It's the same site, I just believe they
And
tagged it.
my next question is you already have two outbuildings up there, correct?
One.
Mhm. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I was just up there and I saw a small she shed behind your other shed.
But talking to Rob, and I informed him of that, and it's on skids, so he said that wasn't intrusive.
Correct, that's the same thing that was with the last gentleman, that's all his on skids and that was.
Yeah.
That was
He thought he had to get rid of it.
Nope, he was allowed to keep it because on skids. Yep.
So it's on skids.
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
I would assume that this is just labeled incorrectly,
Labeled
right?
incorrect,
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
from the GIS.
Yeah, because this one below is 101 Windmill Way. All right. Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
Nope.
All right, you have got your site plan. Right, we're good? And nothing further for him to come. All right, thanks, sir.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks so much. Sorry for taking. But I do appreciate your work on it. Good day. I'll let you get to the rest of it.
Library and 4-H bell ringers project at the park on First Street.
I see you got it further down here, so. Basically, this is a project we wanted to start and but we need a home for it. The idea came from, a park in Land O'Lakes, Wisconsin, right? Wisconsin. This is their pictures. And we're gonna model it as close to that. It's a storybook garden. Yeah, you should have.
I got mine.
Yeah. And then the back page is the park, the park, of course, you guys are so familiar with. The idea behind the story park, the storybook garden is they're little spots. And each spot is considered a story. So one of them would be the Tales of Peter Rabbit. We would have it set up with the small greenhouse or just plywood that looks like greenhouse with an outdoor garden, clothesline, everything. So the kids can actually use their imagination to bring the story to life. Plus, it's also a park where grandparents can bring their kids to and read to them. There will be a book. You'll see on some of the pages that there's the little free library. That is actually where the books would stay in. One copy will stay with the park, that's hopefully. And then that will be used while the parents will read to the kids the story while the kids are listening, they can play and stuff like that. We also, if we did it in that park, we would also fix the, I don't know if you want to call it pavilion out there. We would fix that so there'd be picnic tables underneath.
You call it a homeless shelter sometimes.
We would fix that, so we can put picnic tables underneath there. Some of the 4-H kids had said they would actually build the 3 little libraries. We also would like to bring in other organizations in to help with the project, something for the kids to actually invest in. And then in the winter, everything is pretty well taken down except the main structures and put away. One of them is barnyard dance, so we would have a barn, a small kids barn that we would actually store things in the winter. Some of the, I don't know if I have it on here. One of them would be, we would just make, like this one would be the barnyard dance. This one. And they are actually animals that they can bounce around on. They are actually farm animals. So we want to get them the experience. But also with the 4-H, possibly the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts group, this would also teach them to go out and ask, to learn how to ask for donations or break grants or figure out how to get grants. It's just not putting the park up, but it's also having them help design the park too. The painting and that, we were going to ask the school art department to help us with some of the painting that needs to be done. So we wanted to make it more of a community involved. And then if it is successful and we get grants like we're hoping for, I got one grant written. I'm just waiting for a response. So each year we would write a grant and then hopefully start making trails through the trees, hiking trails for families to go on, and then maybe make it into like what we call a reading walk story. So one trail we might have a story going so far apart, each page we stop and read and then go on. So this is, we don't plan on doing it all, this year it was trying to find a home, get the money, depending on how much we raise, will depend on how small we start. And it's a progressive thing, so each year we add or.
So do they change every year, or
Nope.
Peter Rabbit's always gonna be Peter Rabbit and the barn thing's always gonna be barn thing?
Yep, until we get tired of it and make, we'll get a new story. Our first couple of years, what our goal is in these storybook little houses for the books, we would actually provide a copy of the book. We can usually get a grant to buy bulk books, and there's one company that sells them by the 25 is the smallest they'll go. We would buy 25 copies, and we would celebrate our first opening where the people can actually physically take a book home.
How much space are we talking about needed per thing?
Heidi, what did you think they were?
I mean, they're all a little bit different and we can tailor it to whatever.
Yeah,
space
the
we're
cat-
given.
But like the biggest spot, What are we
Probably
talking?
20 by 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, some of them is just gonna be as easy as cement blocks put down for the construction, to make a big construction site, and then we would have Tonka trucks inside, and they would have sand and all that, and they would build. Other ones, the excavate, the dinosaur one would be in tight, big, huge tractor tires, would have to dig up bones and then clean them off, and there would be a station for them to clean it off and see what dinosaur it is and stuff like that, so it's also a learning. But we wanted to find a home. If we don't use the park, we can always downsize and just maybe do it in Hinman Park and just do 3 or 4 and maybe change it every so many years. But my first goal was to find a home for it. And I thought, this way, it's not that far from here, and we can do some of our programming, story times down there instead of the library. We can go to the park. It's not that far from here, so we can use it for programming too. So basically, I'm just checking to see if we can utilize that park and make it into a storybook and just expand as much as we can through the years. And then if we do it right and it goes well, we can get it on a tourist map. Hopefully that would be a spot for people to stop and check it out.
I just had a couple comments. I think Hinman would probably be a better location based on the past that we've had at the park that you're talking about. We've had the occasional vagrant person that's been trying to set up shop up there and don't know what they would do to a child's display. Also, sometimes the kids, sometimes they show up at the pavilion and they do what kids do. I think we got one person that lives right next door. You could probably attest to seeing that from time to time.
And I've seen it involved.
I'm just thinking you would probably have a little bit fewer broken hearts if you tried to do this at Hinman as opposed to someplace that's
I know
a
there's
little
a-
secluded, honestly.
Yeah.
With all the wooded area up there, it's
And I also know it's probably crime land too, if you wanted to sell it.
yeah.
Too, so I know the town makes money too, so. But Hinman Park would be fine. I was thinking we could do it around the dog park. We can even go on the outside of the dog park and do little stations around the dog park. Or there's a spot by, across from the church, there's an empty space that we can start small and see how it goes, and then if we have to expand it.
well, you could even, if you did use Hinman, yeah, one spot could be maybe by the pavilion, but yeah, you've got all that area to walk around. I mean, you could, it doesn't all have to be in an area, right? Like you say, you could put the Tonka thing over, okay.
So it's just an idea, but we wanted a home, just make our spot first before we really get too far into it.
Yeah, I'd like to, before we would decide either way, I'd like to have Dave involved, just so we can talk, so maybe we put this back on the agenda for
Yeah.
next month, we have a little more discussion.
Yeah,
but-
when I talked a little bit to him about that one, and he didn't think it'd be a problem out there, but I understand where you're coming from too. It is kind of abandoned and we just don't.
I like to take naps there.
I did that.
What about upkeep and?
Upkeep would be, between the groups, between the Friends of the Library and the 4-H and if other groups like I just got an email from, Cub Scouts out of, or Boy Scouts out of the cities. They're trying to get another, trying to restart Boy Scouts around here, wanting to know if we had anything that we could use the Boy Scouts for, so we would team up with them too, so.
Playground equipment. The playground equipment, yeah.
There you go. No, I think this is a cool idea. I mean, this looks cute. I like it. And when we're talking about, you know, Hinman and trying to do things for the kids, I think this would add a lot to that area and even make it look like it was fuller and more stuff to do. So I mean, unless Dave tells me that it's logistically impossible.
And then I
to
can
do.
talk to Dave and we can say, okay, Dave, is this spot here okay to start? We can
Yeah,
start with 3 of them and see how it goes. And then
When
we
were
can
you
just-
planning on starting this, if you
The layout, we were gonna start this year and then next year do the construction. If we know we're going to do certain three, we would start with right away, talk to the school and, say, hey, we got painting. Can you make us a fake looking greenhouse?
So ideally, you'd like to start with 3 or 4, or,
I would say three or four.
Only three.
well, okay, what we'll do, let's put this back on the agenda for next month. In the meantime, I'll talk to Dave, him and I will go down, we'll see if we can scope out 3, 4, 5 spots that would work for them, mowing wise, everything. And then we'll bring it back next month, and if he's good with it, and if the board decides that's something they wanna do, we could move
Yeah,
forward.
because
and
we
do
were
it for you.
thinking chips, wood chips and stuff for them to walk in and make like a path, like a trail for them to go to. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a great idea, it's awesome, I think it would really,
Yeah, and I plan on going up there to actually see it myself in my lights. And check it out myself. I've only seen the pictures.
Yeah, but-
She's actually been there. Heidi's been there.
see if there's anything you could get for a picture that was like more inclusive.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be awesome, just to kind of see how much space we're looking
Yeah.
at, what they use, that kind of stuff.
If they might have on their website. No. not
They
like
don't
on
have
there.
any, no.
It's hard because it's in a very wooded area, so I don't know if
Gotcha.
they can get it good, like,
Mhm.
but.
Crawl up on top of your vehicle, don't fall down.
I'll go.
I just have one. I would probably steer away from it right around that. I do this all the time with my dogs, and I know they aren't scared to let me because they're huge, but I just would maybe.
Yeah,
not-
I've been, my first one is, my first choice was that. Yeah, that was my second choice.
That's across the street from the Lutheran church.
Yeah, so parking's right there. There's a big spot before the trail that goes to Marigold or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a cute idea, for sure.
Okay. Well, talk to Dave.
Yeah, we'll talk to Dave and we'll be back next month and we'll see if we can decide to
Okay.
get it done for, thank you very much. Anything else for Rochelle? Okay, thank you very much. Discussion action on moving forward with migration to the Microsoft 365 and upgrades to the servers. Madam Clerk.
Our IT provider, Sunny Link, has many times now trying to push us for this upgrade that was needed. We have a server that's very old and it is not doing the backups that it should be because of its age. And we also need to migrate all of our email accounts to 365 so they're more secure and they have the two-factor authentication.
Yeah, we've had multiple attempts at hacking, trying to get funds. Nothing's ever been taken, but they have gotten into our servers somehow multiple times. So
I
that's
don't know
what,
for sure that that's what's happening, but
right. But it could be, and this is what they recommend that we,
so they're recommending this upgrade. The cost is gonna be like right around, I wanna say it's between 4,000 and 5,000 with everything they're recommending we do and their time putting into it, so. I did follow up on that grant I applied for. They still have not made a decision. I don't know how long we're.
and that was for a
waiting
different,
around. That was,
so,
we would have to switch companies if we were to get that grant.
right. So if we do this, obviously the grant is null and void unless we would switch again, correct?
We still could switch if we get the grant.
We could, but
Right.
yeah, so we could either wait to see if we get the grant to switch or
Right.
do this now, which they have recommended, like you say, multiple times.
So I just don't know how much longer we wait.
And then give you no indication of a time frame that they're
Every
deciding.
time I check, oh, we're getting close, we're almost there, ready to make a decision. But
Right.
that was a week ago, and the last follow-up I did.
And you laughed at it, I'll use my computer.
That would be good. Any thoughts, comments?
Where'd the money come from for a $5,000 expenditure?
I don't know.
I'm
So
opting out of this one.
my recommendation, even though I know how important it is, I would really like to wait another month to see if we get the grant, because obviously that will solve our problems.
I also have another company, I think they're coming tomorrow, actually. I met them at the conference I was at in Eau Claire. He's coming tomorrow to just do a general walkthrough of what we have, what we need, and then he'll give us a quote as to what they can provide us to, and that takes about 2 weeks to get a quote from them.
So, well, if they're coming, yeah, if they're coming,
I
I would-
scheduled that before this. all.
yeah, I would say let's table this as well. Till next month, we'll, revisit, maybe that quote is better, or maybe we get something by then. But yeah, at some point this summer, we've got to decide if it's taken care of, so we don't have any more hacks, break-ins, leaks, whatever's
happening.
Yeah, correct. And like you said, the server itself is old and not doing its job.
It's just one of the servers.
Yeah.
We have a couple.
Any problem with that from anyone? Okay.
Yeah, problem with that.
Nope. A discussion on the ditch washout on Misty Lane across the fire hole. Judd, you have been in contact with Mike, so I will let you take this.
Yeah, Mr. Barstead, contacted me. He's been working with Dave to develop a plan to fix the erosion issue. That's been going on since before he bought that property over there.
Yeah, that ever since I've been on the road.
Yeah, so I got his side. He gave me some great pictures, explained what was going on. I talked to Dave before he left for Clearwater, and he said it's almost like a 50-50 proposition here, because the city has onus to actually prevent this from happening, and then Mike's a landowner over there, so there's a possibility of a joint operation, so to speak, to make it get it corrected. And Dave said that from the city standpoint, we could probably put in some what he said, river raft or rock raft or riff raft. Some rocks in there.
Did he talk to you about what?
Yeah, I had contacted him and I'd offered to Dave that I can do excavating, I can, because we want to get that all seeded. And I thought, I'm watching the road get washed away and it's been that way forever. And I thought, yeah, why not?
So if we provide
offer it?
materials, you'll provide
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was.
the labor?
Yeah,
I think Mike's looking for a commitment on a time frame. Is that right?
I'm kind of open to whatever. Yeah, I want to get it seeded. I just want to know if the city's willing to do that, whether it's the rock, Dave threw a couple things out there that I'm sure he didn't have time to check on before he left. But he said there was some things the city done with either paving or some rock or cement or something. And
Dave didn't indicate that it was gonna be like very expensive, like he could fund it out of his budget. So I don't think that it's gonna require any type of approval, but I just wanted to make sure that the city knew that this was gonna happen.
Permanent solution, or is this temporary?
no, it'd be permanent because right now the water's always coming down that.
Yeah.
It goes right onto the road. And I would just excavate out our ditch so it goes to the ditch where it's supposed to, down in the corner instead of out on the city road. And if they get, but if we don't put rock or something in there, it's going to, and he has to plow it. So I thought you'd talk to him so that, there's not something there that's gonna damage the plow or something in the winter too.
Are we talking the whole length of your building basically, or is it just that
No,
top
more or
part
less
to your
from our
driveway?
driveway down through the ditch.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. If you're willing to do that, I'll just put Dave in. If he has the money in his budget, we don't really have to do anything. If there's something that pops up that we don't know about, we can revisit it. But yeah, if you and him just want to get together.
Yeah, I think the biggest
Figure it
thing
out.
would be is if there's, I know we'd have to have the lines marked and stuff like that before we start digging anything. And I don't think there's any issue with the ditch as far as permits, but he would know, as far as making sure it gets down. So.
Yeah, and if we're just filling and you're moving, I don't think we're constructing anything. So yeah, if there's an issue, but I'll just put Dave in touch with you when he gets back and you guys can figure out a time frame. If there's something pops up, he'll let me know, or you'll let me know, and if that works for you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll stop up.
I'll stop up.
Okay.
You're
You're the chair
Okay.
then.
All right, discussion on the future of the tourist park, city park on First Street near the Catholic Church. Judd, once again, that's you.
I just want to talk, we've got a 3.5 acre park up there that I believe originally was given to the city. The past uses of it, I believe they had put in a community garden at one point, that was used for about 2 years. The city actually ran water up to it. And then it was, well, Dave said it was abandoned. So the city then had to go up and basically recover everything and fix it. Since then, the uses I mean, I haven't actually seen anyone up there. The police department, I think they told me once that, you know, they had some issues with, some vagrants.
The guy who stole my Jeep was staying up there for a couple evenings. so,
Yeah. Well, that's what you get for leaving your keys on the bar.
Yeah, I know, it's fine.
Yeah, so it is your fault.
There was a ball field there one time,
There's a what?
ball field there one time.
It must have been a small ball field.
Well, that's before that
They were-
apartment building was built.
Oh.
Very flat, yeah.
Oh, because that was part of the land at the
Yeah.
same time, okay. So that was sold off after the donation? Or that
Well,
was,
donation was in back in turn of the century.
oh, okay, so the city did sell,
1900s.
so someone bought that piece from
Yeah.
the city then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I believe the most of that lot is not buildable, but the developer could potentially put 2 lots up there if they wanted to. I just wanted to discuss the possibility of selling it because right now, I believe the city spends at a minimum about $1,500 a year mowing it. And I mean, it looks nice, you know, until you get up close to the pavilion, you see how crappy it is.
Did we have that, didn't this come up before and there's something, don't we have a green space initiative? And this helps us meet that green
Haven't heard of it.
space.
It probably does help for that. We can look at it. I think you're right about that, but I don't, it's not all encumbrance. Like if we would get rid of it, we still would be fine, but yes,
Oh,
it does
yeah.
help. It does help with that. I believe you're right.
We got lots of green space.
I just wanted to mention that, the city, because of what the mayor said, we had, or what Terry said, maybe she's like the mayor too, but we've had some decisions in the past that, run us into, you know, pretty negative, equity. You know, we're close, was it close to 2 million in debt for the bonds?
I think with everything,
Yeah, so that combined with the fact that we get $30,000 whoopsies that kind of pop up that we don't have that budget for. We've got a fairly small budget as a town, you know, so any type of issue like that that comes up, it kind of leaves us scratching our heads. So I just think that if we paid down our debt or had the money available to pay for, you know, $60,000 expenditures, $30,000 expenditures that we didn't plan for, we couldn't plan for. I think that might make a better idea if we had like an open competition, full transparency sale of this land. Now, I don't want to make a decision now. I don't want to even suggest that, but I do want to revisit this at a later time to.
Just not the way they've done it in the past.
No, no
correct?
sealed
No
bid. This was
sealed
Go right
all
to the
above
realtor.
table.
Yeah, right.
Everyone gets to.
They can meet with the realtor, they show them the property, make their offer. We list it at a price instead of
Yeah.
a sealed bid.
No sealed bids.
You know, there was a vote one time not to sell.
There was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and I'm just telling you that we're not destitute as a city, okay? But selling that property would give us a little bit of breathing space.
Would your proposal, if you were to make one at some point, would there possibly be some kind of, since it's a park, if let's say we sold it for $60,000, we could use $10,000
Yeah.
possibly directly to the Hinman Park
I
project?
think that makes perfect sense. But that's just me. I'm only one vote.
No, if we have the money, I'm all for the park. I think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened. I get real edgy because we didn't make this problem.
I know.
That's what bothers me. We're stuck with it, but
Well,
yes, we did the, yeah, whatever.
We came into this job with shovels and we're trying to
We
do.
just keep shoveling.
Well, because
Trying
the
to be
last time this was brought up and we talked about selling it, that was one of the conditions that we would donate some of that money to that project.
I
This
mean,
is
I wouldn't
before
say
they
all of
started.
it because on a hierarchy of needs,
No, it's,
safety and security and infrastructure for this city they're pretty high. They're above a park.
I agree.
So that's just my discussion points. I just wanted to bring it out there and maybe next month, 2 months, whatever, we can maybe decide to, put a little bit, better future on our financials, so. I don't know, we'll see.
I think we should sell it. But that's what we were talking about, that it was donated, so they didn't wanna sell. Is that what happened years ago, Ben? Was
Well, it came to the board, Rob was still the mayor at the time, I believe, came to the board, and that was the point, that it was donated, we really don't want to do it. When I was just a council member, my opinion at the time was, we don't use it,
Sell it.
we just, exactly, if we can get something for it, if there's people that want it, it can help do good for other things. That was,
There was a name on that park at one time, it was even a thing going across the drive over there with the name of the park. You got a picture of that?
I think there's, I'll look in the file, see if it's, yeah, you're right, there was something, I think it was tours.
how long ago would have that been, give or take?
120 years ago.
Well, you wouldn't have a picture from 120 years. You didn't take that, I mean, I know you.
For your age and
You have your chart come out, you were.
I thought you guys.
No, the sign, like when that thing was. Yeah.
I read that somewhere.
Are there taxes on that park?
No, we did
Yeah,
nothing.
it's, yeah, that's, so that would be the thing.
That's what I'm saying, I mean,
It's
you can get
residential.
tax revenue.
Well, right now it's not, but
Right now,
we would,
generates-
we would. Start,
That's what they call it.
well, no, but it's not zoned for,
It's not zoned.
we would, but if we sold it, obviously, the person that would buy it, you know, we would do our due diligence to make it work for them, so they'd have to go through the long, if it was zone commercial, you know, and they wanted to build a house there, we'd fix that before, you know, before we sold it, to try and make it easy for them too, because it is a two-way street.
Yeah, and maybe if you find someone that wants to buy it without a realtor, it might even be a better deal. Wow, just saying.
But no, I was just curious about how long ago that sign was there, because in my mind, I'm assuming it's a long time ago, right? So I told
It
you,
wasn't there when I was a kid.
it wasn't, it was already gone when you were a kid. So there you go. I'm not saying you're old, Carl, but I'm saying it's been a few years since that park has been relevant to you.
Great granddaughter's 4 years old. Grandpa, you're old.
So, I mean, it just seems like a piece of land that sat there for an awfully long time, not really doing much. So to your point, I think that it's at least worth exploring.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think so.
Anyone else have comments on that, questions, concerns? All right, with that, our next meeting date is Monday, June 15th, 2026 at 7 PM at City Hall, and agenda number 16, Ben. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your time, everyone. Everyone who showed up, thank you very much. Whose board is this? Okay, thank you for that.
And educating us that there's more than.
Yeah, I'm not losing my marbles, that's what it is.
What?
She's like, no, you're not that far.
I know.
They try to-
Yeah, just so you know, I wasn't like, I just saw you looking down and just seeing what I was going around. So that's all.
There's no reason why there can't be. This thing was good. Oh, yeah. I just.
So really do everything.
Street. Into that thing.
As far as I know. Right. Make sure that doesn't happen.
So, yeah. Sounds good. Thanks, Ben. Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Good night.
Yeah. Hey, did you talk about that tree at all?
You can take the chair, I'll get them.
No, I haven't. Where is it at, your house or?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's on the park plan?
See that I unloaded them.
It's like. Help me disappear.
You can have that double tree, not Adrian. So when you say that, what do you mean?
Yeah, I would probably want Dave to assist.
Right.
Paul, if you're gonna want Paul on my building doing it, but it's, yeah.
Well, I mean, as long as something doesn't go wrong. You know, like.
That's why I brought it.
Yeah, I'm all for, but yeah, well, let's get together when Dave, whatever, talk about that too and see, and then just have him bring it to me, whatever. If it's a problem, I don't.
Yeah, 'cause I don't want the city, we don't want the city.
Well, I don't want it falling on your shed, so we expect even more either, so. Yeah, okay, yeah, just talk to him when you do the other stuff figured out, let me know when we're. Okay. Thank you. He's got a tree from that heart on his property. That he gets to look at. Said he's going to help make it, so. If they think we take it, then build up some of that. Actually shed over, I'm all for it, so. If you wanna broker that deal too. Oh, your place, yes.
Sorry, Mom. It is what it is.
Yeah, we just heard about that.
Planning it for 20 years.
Actually, I saw you at the wedding Saturday, I'm like, we getting invited or what's?
I know, you can come, I still. But no, well, she's had it a couple of months, so, yeah. But she's like, give me the 80 and then everything else. I'll say the same thing, I get the 80. I make it too I know where you sit, so I'll look you up in July.
Right.
Hey, let me know if Dave, if any pushback or you guys are.
Okay.
And he's kind of busy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, 'cause I know I called him like a month and a half before. Then he just showed up the other day. I think it was after you and I